So I just got finished watching the film Rubber, and I, in my mind, I was gonna, I want to start a movie review channel, and I thought, I'll do a huge introduction about how, I want to choose kind of like a basis film to kind of give you we will base every film now on from is it better or worse than our basis film, and I was going to make a joke that Rubber was going to be that basis film because it sold as a tire rampage, like a horror film, and it is anything but. I wish it was a tire going around killing people. Now, that is what happens, but oh my lord, this this is a media studies slash theater studies slash film buff's idea of something clever, and it isn't. It tries to set it out. It tries to set out from the very start that it's not normal. Nothing that's going to happen is going to make any sense, and in that regard, it is true to its word. I don't know what it was trying to prove. I don't know if it was trying to be a truly pointless film, in which case it failed. I believe it was trying to make a point, and that point is that, I don't know, Hollywood filmmaking, it's run of ideas, it's run out of road. I don't know. But clearly, I can remember in my 20s when I was much more interested in film and the kind of, not the science, but the kind of the art of film, the art of storytelling. And to a certain degree, the science of storytelling. Some will see it as art, and I think there are some films that are art, but most films are designed around a scientific model of what will people find interesting and what will keep you captivated. And that is a model that changes as time goes on. And I think this film was trying to attack that premise, and I think it was trying to attack it in the way that you do when you're in your 20s. You're sitting around, you're drinking beers with your mates, and you're tearing everything apart while not really having any idea of why it exists or how things happen. And I hate reviewing this film in this kind of way because I feel that I'm fueling the point this film was trying to make, even though this film failed to make any kind of point. And yeah, it's absurd, but for absolutely no reason. And honestly, I kid you not, as I was watching it, I think to myself, this feels very French. This feels like a very French film. It's very slow. It's very artsy. It doesn't really have a point, although it's pretending that it does. You'll have seen many shorts that take the mick out of the kind of French film process, right? Arty shots joined together in a way that doesn't really knit together to make any kind of cohesive whole. It turns out the writer-director is French, which I didn't know going in. I could have guessed probably by his name when it first came up, but I didn't. But reading that afterwards, I kind of just had to go and check. I was like, is this French? Because this felt very rolled up cigarette French pretentious. And yes, it turned out that's exactly what it was. Is it an enjoyable film? I personally would say no. Like I said, it's very boring. There's a core concept of questioning what is reality, what is filmmaking, and a brief idea of what happens to actors if suddenly the film goes off the rails and doesn't end when they think it should. And then you kind of have to wing it, and kind of a film brings a life of its own. There are these core ideas, these kind of pops of something that could have been good, but vastly outweighed by someone, I think, trying to make an artsy, pretentious film. And again, I have a feeling when I say this, if the writer director of the film ever watches this review, they'll probably go, that was the whole point, and maybe that's true. But I think what they forgot is that a film should also be entertaining. And this just isn't. This is not entertaining. This is not a fun watch. This is Inception on a budget. And I mean, I'm not even a fan of Inception, really. So, yes, what I thought I was going to sit down and watch was an incredibly stupid horror film. Sorry, there's some kind of horrible looking bug crawling over my desk. Kind of gory, stupid, Evil Dead, Jack Frost, not the one with Michael Keaton. The horror film, about how can you make a tire scary? How can you do these gruesome murder scenes, chase scenes with a tire? Turns out they didn't know. That's not the film that they wanted to make. They wanted to make this weird meta film about film. It reminded me so much of the character Abed from Community when he tried to make his film about film, where he becomes Jesus or is Jesus, something like that. There is no Jesus. And this, I don't know. I don't want to call it arrogance, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know what it is, but on a very visceral level, this film annoyed me. Because, I don't think a single bit of it was particularly entertaining. I really, really don't. There's no real story. There's no real point to it. Again, they say right at the start, there's no point to this film. And they go on, right at the start, the sheriff goes on this huge diatribe towards the people who are spectating the film, even though it's the real life thing that's happening, but it could be the film, could not be the film, about how, why do these things happen in movies and makes no fucking sense. And I don't know. I cannot recommend you watch this. Maybe if you're in film school or if you really, really enjoy pretentious French movies, then this is for you. It's not in black and white though, so that may put you off if you're in that particular school. It is in color, which I know pretty much a sin in French cinema world. But there's not a single interesting character in it. There's not really a single interesting conversation in it. And whatever point it was trying to make by doing what it was doing, I don't think it made it. And I wish I'd watched a terrible horror film about a murderous tire rather than whatever the hell that was. And I hate the fact that I'm reviewing it because, again, I think I'm going to fall into the trap whether anybody who thinks they get it will go, well, he just doesn't get it. Whereas I just honestly think it's a pretentious pile of... Sorry, I wasn't ready to do this. A pretentious pile of... So, don't watch it. I'm not going to use this as my baseline for movies going forward. I'm going to put it on my list. I'm going to do probably an S to F list. This is going on an F. We're starting on an F. Don't watch. Don't talk about. Don't feed the fire of whatever this terrible film was meant to be. And anyway, that is my quick review of Rubber. And for the love of God, don't watch it. Bye for now.